Back with another Bond review, and before I get to that, of course, as you can see here in the back, got this poster. Well, I've had this for a while now. I'm just trying to spice up the background a little bit here, and maybe I'll add a couple of more, and I'll scoot that down. But yeah, great movie. If you haven't seen I Come in Peace, definitely go check it out. You should stop the video right now and go watch it. But anyway, today we're going to review The Spy Who Loved Me. And great Bond movie. And it's been a lot of fun going through the Roger Moore era because, you know, again, a lot of this for me is a first time watch, first time experiencing the Roger Moore era. And each one so far has been fun. I mean, yeah, The Man with the Golden Gun, I wish it would have focused more on the assassin angle, but it's still a fairly solid Bond movie. You know, Live and Let Die is a very good debut for Roger Moore. And I will do a recap because the way the Blu-ray box set is packaged, they're divided up into eras. So for this one, it's from Dr. No to The Spy Who Loved Me. So I will do sort of a recap thoughts on what I've seen so far. And this one is from Moonraker to Die Another Day. So I will do that as well. But like I said, this is a great Bond movie. And like I mentioned before, you know, with Connery, he brought that suave factor to the role of Bond. Roger Moore, you know, he played Bond with a smile, where he has his own, he brings his own persona and charm to the role, you know, along with his quips and fun lines. And, you know, when you talk about this movie, it's considered one of the best, or the best Roger Moore Bond movie. And that's understandable. And, you know, it's kind of, I think I was reading a review that this is pretty much Roger Moore's Goldfinger. I mean, it's a great blend of, you know, the fun, but it's a great Bond movie too, with, you know, a lot of great spy elements. And I would say this is definitely my favorite so far. And I know that's typical because, like I said, a lot of people say that this is Roger Moore's best, but I really like this movie. And the next one, Moonraker, which was a lot of fun. But the story here real quick with this movie, you have these submarines that are being taken. You know, I'm just kind of going through it real quick. And they're trying to figure out why. And tensions are being heightened. And they're trying to find the culprit behind these submarines that are being taken. So James Bond is brought in to join forces with the secret agent, Triple X. I think that's the character's code name, but the character is, I want to get this right because I know I'm going to botch it. I botch a lot of names, but it's pretty much our Bond girl here, Major Amasova. I'm gonna get it right. Amasova. Yeah. I think I got it there, but like I said, they're trying to follow the trail of the culprit, and it's this character Carl Stromberg, who is a powerful character, and he's implementing a horrific scheme for global domination, like a lot of these villains have done in the franchise. They're always trying to dominate the world, but you know, Bond is trying to foil his plot, and that's when he brings in this indestructible character, Jaws. You know, the guy with the metal teeth, played by Richard Keel. Man, he's throwing Jaws at Bond, you know, trying to, you know, throw him off the trail and, you know, kind of be a roadblock in Bond's investigation. And like I said, he's nearly indestructible. I mean, you got a scene in the film where Bond and this girl in this van, and they're trying to get away from Jaws, and he just ripped the van apart. I'm like, God. I mean, it's such an iconic villain. And 007's adventure takes him through, you know, Egypt and the pyramids and under the sea, because this car in the film turns into a submarine. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the plot here. I'm just kind of going through that real quick. But yeah, this was a great Bond movie. Now, Louis Gilbert, I think, directed this movie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Louis Gilbert, who directed You Only Live Twice with Sean Connery, and I think he would direct the next one, Moonraker, which again, that one was fun. I had a lot of fun with that movie, and I thought he did a great job here. Balance, like again, it was a nice blend and balance of, Roger Moore having fun. Like, this is a fun Bond movie, and Roger Moore again brings his own persona, charm to the role, but you also have some serious, a little bit more serious spy elements. Again, it's kind of like Roger Moore's Goldfinger. What Goldfinger did for Sean Connery, this did for Roger Moore, and again, it's considered one of the best. A lot of great reception from critics. But the cast, real quick, Roger Moore, again, he's great as James Bond. And like I mentioned, it's been a lot of fun going through this era because, I still have to watch. Moonraker was fun. For your eyes only, Octopus, A View to a Kill. So I still got those to go. But, Roger Moore is definitely becoming one of my favorite Bonds. Because, again, I just like the way he plays Bond, where it's very... he's very loose with, the role. It's like, he knows that, he's giving you that wink. That he's bringing that... he's bringing a smile into the performance. And the way he delivers lines, dialogue, quips, what have you. But Roger Moore is great. Barbara Bach, who plays... here I go again because I'm trying to get the name out right. Amasova. There you go. And again, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. But I thought she was decent. I mean, actually, I much prefer the next Bond girl in Moonraker, Goodhead, which is very obscene, but I actually thought she was a better Bond girl. Barbara Bach here, again, she was decent. She held her own, but compared to the next one, I don't know. I felt that the next Bond girl to me was better a little bit. You have the villain here, Stromberg, played by Kurt Jürgens. You have Jaws, who is played by Richard Keel. And what's interesting is it seems like that character had more to do in the next one, but such an iconic villain here, the character of Jaws. Again, he has the metal teeth and he's indestructible, a tall man. And of course Richard Keel, he would go on to be in Happy Gilmore, and I actually saw him at a convention the year he passed. And I don't know why I saw him, and I don't know why I never spoke to Richard Keel, but bear in mind, this is a few months before he passed, and at that time, at that convention, this is probably back in February of 2014, even then, I can tell that he was ill. Something was going on there that it just didn't look good, but I wish I had met Richard Keel, because if I had seen these films early on, like back then in 2014, I would have asked him about, playing Jaws. He was great in Happy Gilmore, but it was cool to see Richard Keel there at the convention. My only regret is, not meeting him and talking to him, but, again, just a great villain here. And a lot of the scenes with, Jaws, where, again, he would rip the van apart, or, the third act, where this Stromberg's facility, which is like this ship, and the Atlantis, and it's taking on water, and, Jaws is fighting Bond, and there's a lot of fun stuff there where, Bond drops this, like, magnet, and, it pulls Jaws up, and he drops Jaws in the shark tank, and Jaws bites the shark. And so, yeah, just fun stuff with that character. and again, a great villain. You also have the character of Naomi, played by Caroline Munro, and she was there in a couple of scenes, not given much to do. You have this one character, this one general, Goggle, and I hope I got that right, but the actor that plays this character you've seen before, he was in From Russia with Love. He was a different character, but he comes back here. And this guy, again, this guy you've seen before. Of course, you would have, the character of M. He would come back, and Q. But overall, the cast is great. Again, Roger Moore is great. Great villains in Jaws. And the actor that played Stromberg, I thought, he did decent enough. And again, the Bond girl here, Barbara Bach. Again, she was decent. She held her own, but I don't know. It's like when we got to Moonraker, for me, I thought that actress did better. She was more appealing to the eye, but Barbara Bach here, she held her own. That's more than what I can say for the one in The Man with the Golden Gun, Mary Goodnight. I mean, this actress here, this character was better than her, the last one. But I still can't complain about the acting. Everyone does their part well. As far as locations, if I could talk about locations here for a second, it was really cool to see a lot of Cairo, a lot of Egypt locations here, and some of the Giza pyramids, where there's this one scene where Bond is tracking Jaws through this pyramid complex. I thought that was some fun stuff, and it kind of leads up to the scene where Bond and the girl are trying to get away in the van, and Jaws is ripping off the doors, and he's tearing the car up with his bare hands, and it just really shows how strong this villain is. And again, a great villain, and he got a little bit of Russia too, but for the most part, it's a lot of Egypt location. And I thought it was really cool. Gadget wise, you would see a car in this movie that is equipped with air missiles, but the main feature is that it can transform into a submarine, and then it would unleash depth chargers, another iconic moment of the film is where the car goes into the water and it turns into a submarine. And again, it was great to see. Great, the way that they made that, it was well shot, and some of the underwater shots looked great. You also have this one moment where the girl knocks out Bond with these cigarettes. They have knockout powder, so it's cool to see that. And then the way, even kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but the way that the Stromberg villain gets it is very fun, because you have Stromberg sitting at one end of the table and Bond is sitting at the other end, and he has this table mounted harpoon launcher kind of strapped underneath the table, and he tries to kill Bond, but Bond moves out of the way and he fires his gun through this tube, and then Stromberg gets shot, and and then he just shoots Stromberg some more. And again, it's a very fun comeuppance for a villain. That was fun to see. And then even I didn't even talk about the complex facility ship, the Atlantis, which is in the film, which is I thought it was really cool how even back then, when this came out in '77, the production value, the effects that were put into building the ship that just rises above the water, because you see it in the beginning of the film, this mysterious ship, rising above the water. And just the way the ship looked, I'm also reminded of the scene where Stromberg kills this one girl. This girl goes into an elevator with a false floor, and like he pushes a button, and she drops into a shark tank, and she gets eaten. I'm like, okay, this is a villain that, just doesn't care, and it's a villain you want to hate. But yeah, like I said, the whole, the look of Atlantis, the ship, I thought was well done, and it looked great, especially, at this time, again, 1977, and they were able to pull this off where, the ship would come out of the water. And again, well done stuff. But like I said, Stromberg's comeuppance is fun. And then, like in the third act, where you have, the submarine that's taken, and you have the crew and Bond, fighting off against the bad guys. And that's before Stromberg's comeuppance. So, yeah, I did get a little ahead of myself a little bit. I got ahead of myself in regards to that. But, the whole third act where you got a lot of great gunplay, where the submarine crew and Bond are fighting off against, Stromberg's men. And you got, again, great gunplay, great explosions, grenades being thrown and what have you. And it's a great climax. It's a great finale. Action-packed. And, again, you get some one-on-one between Bond and Jaws where, again, Bond drops Jaws in the shark tank, and, Jaws bites the shark and kills the shark, and he gets away. Which, funny enough, with that character, there was a lot of fan mail, that people were hoping that Jaws would come back. Even some kids were like, why can't he be a good guy? So they brought back, the character of Jaws in Moonraker, and then the last, like the third act of Moonraker is where, Jaws would turn good. So, I'm glad they brought back that character. And again, it seemed like he had more to do in Moonraker. But, yeah, so, a lot of great action here. And like I said, great locations. I mean, as far as, like, side trivia, let's see if maybe we can mention a couple of things here. Prior to the film's release, Barbara Bach posed nude for the men's magazine Playboy. Interesting. Let's see here. Again, I'm just going to mention a couple of things, not go too deep on, background info that you can find, which I've done with other Bond movies. But, again, you can find a lot of that stuff. Now, at the end of the film, the credits would announce that the next Bond film would be For Your Eyes Only. Ultimately, they decided to adapt Moonraker, and in order to sort of cash in on the, at this time, the sci-fi fantasy craze, because, Star Wars came out the same year, and that's understandable. But yeah, I mean, just a couple of things to mention there. I mean, and also too, because I'm looking here at the trivia, it was really cool to see that the office, the MI6 station in this movie, it's like it's in the pyramids, and again, it's cool with each movie that they I can't get the word out. They relocate the office in different environments. The last one, it was the Queen Elizabeth, and here it's sort of like in these pyramids. But overall, at the end of the day, this is a great Bond movie, entertaining Bond flick, and I can see why it's considered, Moore's best. It's pretty much, Roger Moore's Goldfinger, and again, a lot of great locations you see throughout the film of Egypt, and it's well utilized. Great villain in Jaws, played by Richard Keel. A lot of great memorable moments, where the car turns into a submarine. You got the Atlantis ship that comes out of the water, and that's all well shot, well filmed. Really action-packed finale. So yeah, The Spy Who Loved Me would definitely be in the top 15. I mean, it's going to be hard for me because I've really enjoyed a lot of these. So should I do a top 15, top 20? We'll see. But that's my review of The Spy Who Loved Me. And next, we're actually going to do a recap of what I've watched so far, and then we're going to talk about Moonraker. But thank you for watching, and have a good day.